One of my favorite subjects. Um, it's actually one of the most vibrant forms of intellectual property. More than trademarks, patents, though I've written a book on patents, I think copyright, because of its versatility, it covers um, almost everything that we do from morning to night. Just to give you a kind of idea कि हम लोग सुबह उठ के क्या करते हैं. सबसे पहले फ़ोन देखते हैं, उसके बाद टूथब्रश करते हैं, फ़ोन में म्यूज़िक सुनते हैं, न्यूज़पेपर्स पढ़ते हैं. Music and newspapers have copyright. You read books, you have copyright. You sit in the car, there is copyright in the software in your car, in your phone, उसमें copyright है. You listen to FM music, there is copyright in that. If you watch news in the morning, there is copyright in that. You go to the office, you open your computer, the software is copyrightable, right? Anything that you do, the clothes you wear, there is copyright artistry in that. The food you eat, recipe books are copyrightable. Every channel, television channel, music channel that you watch in the evening for entertainment, there is copyright. So सुबह से रात तक, whatever we do, there is copyright in everything we do. इसलिए copyright जो है register नहीं करना होता. You don't need to register copyright. You have the right as soon as the work is created. अगर आप एक poem आज लिखेंगे, वो poem का copyright आपके पास है. आपको कहीं भी जाके उसका registration नहीं कराना होता. कोई गाना लिखते हैं, कोई सॉफ्टवेयर बनाते हैं, कोई डेटाबेस क्रिएट करते हैं, anything that you create has copyright. Now, I think the PowerPoint presentation is there, but I'm trying to speak. I don't know if it's visible to you. You can see it? Alright. So, creative work जो है, mind का creation है ये सारा. And therefore, different copyrights in works में दिया जाता है. But इंडिया में जो creative industry है, मिस पांडे ने अभी आपको उसका the magnitude of the industry has been placed before you कि कितना बड़ा है. IPRs में देखिए, if you see the slide, you have copyrights on one hand, then you have trademarks, you have designs, you have geographical indications. I think like the Kanchipuram sari, the Kolhapuri chappals, the Kutch embroidery, and the Kanta jacket that Alison is wearing. So all of this has creativity. But today we are here to discuss what should the creative industry do, and what are the challenges that it is facing, what is the kind of issues that the copyright industry is facing, and are there any solutions in India for that. Now let's just freeze on this slide. If you see this tells you what are all the rights you get in a copyright, a work. Just go back one slide, please. Yes, section 14. You can read it on your own. I don't need to expand this. Go 2 slides. What are the rights that a copyright owner gets? Go further. One more. Yes, yeah. So, any work, suppose you write a book, what is the copyright you get in it? You can make copies of the book. You can make translations of the book. You can make that book into a movie. You can make that book into a drama. You can create an adaptation of that book. If there is any poetry in that book, you can make a song out of it. You can even make a film out of it, or even a sound recording of it. So all these rights can be there in one story or one book. But how do we provide the platform for making all of this? The law is there. The law is there to protect everybody. But how do you provide the platform? Next. Copyright is a very interesting right. It is not on, for example, let us say there is a well-known bhajan. That bhajan can be sung by 20 artists. But each of those artists has a copyright in their rendition of that bhajan. It is not the bhajan that you cannot sing it, I cannot sing it, only one person can sing it. No. That's in patent law. But in copyright, any work which is there, you can sing it, you can do what. So it's the expression. Whether Lata ji sings it, or Jagjit Singh sings it, or any other artist sings it, Anuradha Patwal, or anyone. So each of them has a separate right in their expression of that particular bhajan. So the Ganesh Stuti, Shiv Stuti, anything, everyone can sing it. They do not have a right on that bhajan or the stuti. Unless that itself is an original literary work, like Javed Saab's lyrics itself would have a copyright. No one else can use it without a license. So what is protected in that copyright law is the expression of the work, not the idea of the work. So there can be any number of television serials on Saas Bahu Jagda. There cannot be a monopoly on that. There can be any number of movies, serials on crime, on all these kind of things. But what is protected is that expression only, not the idea of the entire thing. There can be very common stories which can be there. All that is, permissible in the creative industry. Yes, go forward. So let me give you some examples. This was a case of Band Baja Bharat. In this, there was a well-known movie called Band Baja Bharat. I think, how many of you know this movie? See how permeated the copyright industry is. So someone tried to use a similar kind of marketing material. See the true marketing material. So the court, they went to the court, and the Delhi High Court said the forms and expression of the Band Baja Bharat movie has been copied. So this is like one of the cases which has come in the court. I'm trying to show you some interesting, cases so that you can connect as to how copyright and creativity is connected to the law. So these are cases which come every day in our courts. Okay. Now this is a case of MySpace versus Super Cassettes. In this, what happened? T-series songs were available on the internet, on the website called MySpace. So the question was whether MySpace is infringing the copyright. But the court said MySpace is only a website which permits people to put copyright works on the website. So all that MySpace can do is, if you tell them, if T-Series tells MySpace that this is an infringing copy, they'll take it down. They themselves don't have the responsibility to keep monitoring it. So this is a new thing. Like, for example, suppose one of you tries to upload any copyrighted material on YouTube. There someone can put a complaint, and those are called, I think there's a particular word for it. Strikes. Copyright strikes. So copyright strikes can be put on YouTube, and then that particular video will be taken down. And if it's taken down, then you and that other person have to go and fight in court. So this new internet-based copyright industry is creating lots of challenges and lots of avenues for revenues as well. So today, any original production can go on YouTube and you can earn revenues without even worrying about it. Because the more views you get, the more revenues generated, and the artist is compensated for it. Let's look at the next case. Okay, so who is the owner in the case of a copyrighted work? Suppose there is a producer of a movie. There are 100 artists who are in that movie. The scriptwriter, the screenplay writer, the lyricist of the songs, the singers, the actors, everyone. But the person who commissions all of them is the owner of the copyright. This is under section 17 of the Act. Yes. So this was a case where there's a movie called Wali, and this Surya was saying that they've only given me credit, but that is not enough. And the court said, yes, if he's written the screenplay, you have to acknowledge it, definitely. You cannot not acknowledge this, right? So these kind of cases come to court every day. Now look at this song. In this, what happened? He's a very well-known singer. Can you all name him? Satinder Pal Chakra. Yeah. So he came to court, and I remember I was in the IP division when this case came. And what happened was, Satinder had given the right in that Jalsa song to two parties, and then those two parties were fighting, and then there was a third thing, this Akshay Kumar movie came in. What is this movie called? I think it's the movie where there's this gentleman who, in a mine, saves a lot of people. It's based on a real... Raniganj, Mission Raniganj, yes. This was the movie. In that, the Jalsa song was there. And Satinder Pal had sang that song for the movie. The case came to court, and the problem that the court was facing was, he had given the rights to one company earlier, and then he had also sung the same song for the Mission Raniganj. So in this case, what happened was, the movie was allowed to retain the song, but the singer was made to deposit 25 lakhs in the court to safeguard the rights of the plaintiff. So this is what happened in this case. Now this is another case which is still pending. Now in this case, there is A.R. Rahman on the one hand and Dagar, Wasifuddin Dagar on the other hand. So this is about this movie called, it starts with P, it's that famous movie, the Tamil movie. So there is a movie song called Veera Raja Veera in that, and that song, the Dagar brother is saying that it's based on the Shiva Stuti. So the only issue in that is whether that particular raga and tal can be monopolized, or whether that particular composition has been infringing or not. So such big cases also come to court in copyrights. Now what one cannot do, whoever is the owner or the author is, you cannot kind of spoil the song, spoil the painting, do bad things to it. So there was an interesting case of Anil Kapoor. So what happened was, Anil Kapoor's image and jackass was being used to make porn films on the internet. So this was protected, Anil Kapoor's rights were protected in this. And there's another, and they were selling Anil Kapoor's, T-mugs with his image and everything. So this was protected. And next is a case where Arijit Singh, some AI program was being used to generate the same voice as Arijit Singh. So the AI program, they went to court, and the court held, the Bombay High Court held that without permission if you do it, it is violation of the celebrity's popularity rights. So all of these actors, singers, artists, they all go to court to protect their copyright, without doubt. Now, there is even copyright in the movie title as well. Like, for example, in Sholay, it has been recognized that there is a right in the movie title. Yes, please go forward. Now, on the one hand is copyright, people who own rights. What is the fair use right? For example, one of the most contested cases is about the Oxford-Cambridge publishing, where photocopying of books and textbooks was an issue. And I think it's still a very controversial issue right now for course papers. But anyway, leaving that aside, there is a recent case of the Bombay High Court on Shaadi mein music bajayenge, so is it fair use or not? If a particular copyrighted work is used in in a teaching in class, is it fair use or not? For example, I remember a very interesting case which I had done. Cricket match there, suppose someone hits a six, and that particular clip is picked by the news channel saying that, just now there's been a sixer which has been hit by Sachin or whatever. So the question was whether that particular clipping, listing it from ESPN or Sony, would make it copyright violation. So the court said no, as long as it is newsworthy, you can do it for maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds. But if you create a whole program on the cricket match, then that you can't do. You have to take rights and license rights from that. So these are all the issues which the creative industry faces. So what the copyright industry realized after some time was, sirf copyright is not enough, it also needs neighboring rights. Jaise performance rights hai, television rights hai. So these are all now recognized rights under the Copyright Act. So I think we have to go a little further quickly. This presentation you can see if you wish. Come to the, yes, wait here, go back, please. One slide. Yes. What is the biggest challenge that copyright industry is facing now? It's artificial intelligence and technology. So is this going to kill our copyright industry? That is the question. And therefore the creative industry needs to have more forums like this to discuss how to deal with technology, how to use technology for the advantage of the industry rather than for the destruction of the industry. Because it's so easy today, for example, to use AI to create any amount of copyrighted works. You can actually put on ChatGPT and say, write a full book or write a full story on Sas-Bahu relationship. And ChatGPT will write you a nice story. And it's absolutely fresh, new. So, who will be the owner of the copyright in that? Should AI own a copyright? If you ask ChatGPT, draw a painting like M.F. Hussain, it will be able to do it. Does it mean that copyright industry is finishing? How do you tackle it? Should AI works be given copyright? Who will be the owner of the AI works? These are extremely challenging and complicated questions which we will all need to answer, and we should save the, like for example, if you say if AI software is connected to 3D printers and if you tell them please weave a Kanjivaram sari, it may actually just weave a Kanjivaram sari. We never know. Then what happens to all our weavers? So are we in a situation where we are ready to deal with technology? That is the question. Yes. One way, I think is for copyright to get together and to have a blockchain or something. Let's go forward. This will be the last few slides which I'll do. Just go forward to 2047. Now let's look at this.
Law school.
This would show you that it's a $30 billion industry and it's 8% of the country's employment.
Where from?
Ms. Pandya said.
Then complete.
The Indian publishing industry is fourth in the whole world, behind US, Germany, Japan. India creates the largest amount of copyrighted works in the whole world. It's the country which creates the maximum amount of copyrighted works. The box office revenues are 1.4 billion in 2023. 29% of the total films in the world are made in India. Please remember, Indian films are not just in Hindi. The major industry is also the regional industry. Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, and all Punjabi, Marathi, Gujarati films. They are all very, very big industries. The video game sector is also growing 18.3% from 21 to 26. So there is a huge growth in the video game industry because video games are also protectable and copyright. So what do we lack right now? And I want to give you a story before I tell you what is the problem. When I was a lawyer one day, one of my biggest clients, it was a beverage company, came up to me and said, we want to make an advertisement banana hai. We want to make a commercial, an advertisement. And we want to use this particular song's small clip or music for that advertising film. I said, yeah, so go ahead, what's the problem? So they said, we don't know whom to give the money to. We don't know who is the owner of the rights in this song. So we then said, okay, let's try and find out. Let's try and see if there's some platform from where we can do it to them. We couldn't. And you know the sad part, they just gave up. They just used some other music. So there are millions and millions of examples like this every day. There is no way to know who is the owner or an author in the copyrighted work. There is no licensing platform currently. There are just 2 copyright societies and I don't know how they function. They have their own ways of functioning. There are no standard rates. Go back please. There are no standard rates. There is no collection of royalties which is taking place in India on a centralized platform. And you know something, this is in my personal knowledge, that all Indian works which are used internationally, the copyright societies of those countries have collected money but they don't know who to give it to in India. And I'm told, as of last year, that amount is $200 million. They don't know whom to give it to in India because there is no centralized copyright platform. There's widespread piracy of Indian works. You go to any part of the world. On the internet, you have pirated websites, you have pirated content. You can just plug in the internet and you can have NDTV, ZTV, whatever TV you want. And no royalties are paid for anything for the Indian industry. The copyright societies don't function transparently. There's no one who's controlling or regulating them. So, there are no proper, clear solutions, but some solutions are this. Go back, please. No, go back. Go to the end. I think the screen went blank because there are no solutions. Yes, one more. Yes. I think the solution is to have an all India database of copyright owners, an all India platform for royalties, an all India distribution platform for lyricists, artists and musicians. Copyright societies should come under that platform. International usage, substantial sum is collected, it should be used for the Indian artists. There is no one body which represents the creative and copyright industries. So the digital rights management framework in our country needs to be strengthened. I think the creative industry has done so much for India, and this is the least that either a government-based platform or a creative industry platform, the industry and the government should create one platform. If you don't do it, I think we are in for a complete problem, especially because with technology, the creative industry is going to face huge challenges. With that, I say that the creative industry should speak in one voice. All of you should get together and create this platform so that the artists, most of the artists are actually hand to mouth in India. Their songs are played everywhere, but they don't get any royalties. So, for the sake of the artists, please create this platform and then start collecting royalties and distributing it to them and make usage of copyrighted works more transparent. Thank you so much.